Thanks a lot for coming in.
Good morning, happy to be here.
Something about this community appeals to you?
This is a wonderful place to live.
For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulgat.
And we're joined by Stephen and Mitchell Kuchar and Tommy DeWitt of TMS Productions. You guys are just finished high school and you've got more YouTube followers than most people could dream of. Tell us a little bit about how this got started. Who wants to pick it up from the beginning?
I can start. So in grade 9, we all went to the same middle school, and I was making little films on my own, and I know these two were making some films. So I asked, why don't we join together and make one YouTube channel? So we needed a name, and we just chose a temporary name by Mitchell, which was our initials, TMS.
Yeah.
And we just started making films, and we haven't stopped, and it's pretty cool because we actually got a little bit of a following. And
a little bit of a following. Okay, how many people follow your YouTube channel?
Just under 15,000.
And how has that build been? Is it all recent?
It's been very exponential. Yeah, so for the longest time, because we're about 3.5 years now, for the first 2 to almost 3, we've been 300 followers, and that's it for a long time. And then we had one video that took us from 300 all the way up to 6,000 in a month.
Okay, what was that one?
We did a video, we analyzed a YouTube creator kind of thing. So it's this guy named Sam Colder, he does travel and lifestyle videos. And we kind of analyzed his style, made a info kind of video, and then we released it, and then it went really big, and it has currently, I think,
just under 500,000
views on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't you do sort of a spoof poor man's version of his work?
So a year later to the day, we made another video about the same guy, like a on the budget version of what he does.
Right, yes, that's the one I saw.
Which is one that is more recent, but that also took us from, I think at that time we had 8,000 followers. That took us all the way up to where we are now.
Well, no, like 12,000. What was I going to say about that? But yeah, no, that one was really good. So those two are probably our most popular, but it totally is just luck which video goes big and which doesn't.
Right. So I've looked at a few of your videos, and what I see is great sort of cinematography stuff, but at the same time it's put together in a really raw kind of fashion, right? And
yeah, I don't know. We keep a certain level of unpolish in the video just to make it more personal, so people like following along. It doesn't seem like it's a Hollywood production.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
And it seems like you succeed in really kind of knowing who might be watching your videos, which is probably people in your own demographic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of our views are, 15 to probably 25-year-old area.
Right.
And then on some of our videos, we did one about giving back to the homeless over Christmas, which got shared on Castanet, so then that one gets a lot more older demographics. So it's kind of a mix, but it depends on the actual content in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of people that see, self-publishing on these different social media outlets as a real opportunity, but boy, there's a lot of people that crash and burn with it. What is it? What is it that you think is helping you guys actually make it work?
I would say it's probably our attention to detail, and first off, because we like to make sure it looks good, and we put our effort into it. We don't just kind of film something and post it. We like to film it, edit it, polish it, make it look good, add a couple little tidbits of humor and unpolishedness in it, and then post it. And that, I think, we just strive to better ourselves in the process, and through that it kind of keeps it a consistent look.
Right.
And it brings people back, because people like to see, they don't like to see some video that they filmed in portrait and of just their day. They'd like to see something a little higher quality, but not too high. So it's kind of that little sweet zone.
You've got good camera equipment, it looks like, or at least you're making it look good.
Yeah.
Was that a big investment?
It is, but over time, it's not too crazy.
Yeah.
So basically, any money we make, because we do commercial work as well, so any money we make from a commercial work or YouTube or anything like that, we just put right back into our videos. So we're just going to purchase some new lighting equipment or that kind of thing. So over time, it is a large amount of sum now, of the amount of gear we have, but in small chunks, it's not too bad to actually get.
You've still got this sort of youthful sense of fun to what you're doing, like to the point where some things are just completely dumb. I mean, taking that drop bike
Oh yeah.
all the way to the top of a really high mountain very far away, just to sort of, you know, set some kind of record on how far a drop bike could get away. I mean, I can't think of anything more pointless, but that's sort of the beauty of it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was funny because
Yeah.
we it was all about one-upping the guy, because there was a guy in Merritt who took it, or no, a guy from here, he took it to Merritt, took one of these drop bikes to Merritt, and then rode around a cul-de-sac and took it all the way home. So he did it all
Right.
in a day. And then we're like, oh, we heard about the story, like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to try or whatever. But what if we went further? So we said, why don't we go to Cranbrook, and then we're gonna sleep overnight with it in Cranbrook, and then hike a mountain with it, and
Yeah.
then get to the top of the mountain and take it all the way down, and then take it all the way home.
All within
Yes.
the 48 hours drop bike gives you with the bike.
Yeah.
You see, if I was in your group, as soon as somebody said, yeah, and we're going to hike up the mountain with a 43-pound bike, that's where I would have said, bad idea.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Yeah.
I don't know. We just we just kind of did it without much preparation, and then
Yeah, we
Zero.
learned a lot about preparation on that one. There was
Oh, yeah.
a lot of mistakes made. Like, we arrived at the mountain, it was at dark, so we missed the sign, so we drove past. So what we didn't put in our video is also we drove around this abandoned mine for probably an hour trying to
Right.
find where we're supposed to go, and then we realized, okay, this isn't it, let's turn around,
Yeah.
go back. We finally found the sign, and then once we found it, we slept on the side of the Forest Service road in our
Yeah.
tent, and then we overslept. And then it
Yeah.
was we started hiking at 11 o'clock when most people start. I think it's 9 or even 8 or 7.
Without a bike.
Without a bike. And it takes I think it's in a 4-hour hike without a bike. So with a bike, it's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Because that thing is also pretty wide and getting through, it's very awkward. And then we're like, okay, well, let's just go anyways. And then we made it up halfway. And you guys will probably see in the video if you watch it. But
Yeah.
you'll realize that we
Here,
don't.
the summit is not happening.
The summit is
No
not-
way.
It would have
And we
been
don't want to
legendary
die.
if you did it. But
Yeah, but you talk about pre-planning. If you guys work out all the bugs and stop making dumb mistakes,
Yes.
then you wouldn't have as much to work with.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I also do think
Yeah.
that's kind of the humor of it too.
Yeah.
People like to watch it and be like, oh, these guys are kind of screwing up, but it's kind of cool to
Yeah.
see.
We are.
So
The more things that go wrong in a trip, we usually say, the better the video is going to be. So we're driving, even on the way back from the trip, the truck we were borrowing started breaking down. So
And then it fixed itself,
Yeah,
which I've
well-
never heard of.
yeah, it was
yeah.
interesting because it was our dad's truck because we borrowed. Because first off, we were going to take my little car, and then my dad read the little trail description. It said 4x4 wheel recommend, 4x4
Yeah.
car recommended. And my dad's like, your car isn't 4-wheel drive, so it's not a good idea. And then he's like, how about you take my truck, and then I'll use your car while you're gone. And then so we drove it all the way down there, all the way back, or whatever. And then on our way back, it started lurching and doing the shaking thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're like,
Oh,
oh dear. And this point we're just before Greenwood, so we're still a little ways away from Kelowna.
Yeah.
And then it's also 11 o'clock at night at this
yeah,
point.
everything's closing.
Everything's closing, and so we pull into a gas station. We open the hood, try to maybe something's coming off, or so connection's loose or something. Couldn't find anything. We're like, okay. We phoned our parents. They said, okay, just press on, and if something happens, just call us, and we'll come out and get you.
Except, the only sketchy thing was there was no cell service.
Yeah.
So we'd be
halfway.
texting them when we
Oh,
got
man.
to each town.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
dicey.
well, it turns out that after we figured out that there's a spool of what is it? Hay bales are wrapped in the twine.
Yeah.
Somehow that got into the engine.
Or
and
into
then
the transmission or
Into the
something, it got
transmission.
wrapped up.
Got wrapped up and then started flicking one of the sensors. So it started that was causing the issue.
Yeah. So
Well,
they just had to
in
take
the
it out,
end,
it's fine.
that's minor.
Exactly.
There's
I know,
only one
so-
part about that story I don't believe, that when it started going wrong, you said, oh dear. I'm kind of thinking you might have said something else.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty
I
concerned.
remember I remember I was driving and then I was going like this and I'm like, okay, this is great, nothing's gone wrong, perfect, right? And then I feel this lurch. I'm like, oh, it's probably nothing, probably hit a little bump or something in the road. And then a little while later, I feel another one. I'm like, okay, let's just keep going. And then eventually got more serious and we start doing this and I'm like, and it couldn't switch into a certain gear, so I had to gear down and then rev it all the way up and then gear up, skip the gear and something like
Oh
that.
my.
It was this whole big
And
ordeal.
Cranbrook
then
is not close. That's a long
No,
way to
that's
go.
a 5-hour drive.
Okay, all right, so back to your following. Who are these people? Do you know where they're from? Is it a local thing, or is it just...
we get analytics, and our biggest audience is from the U.S. So we
Really?
don't know where
Yeah.
in the U.S., but all around the U.S. we have.
Yeah.
I think it's couple, like 20% of it at least. Or a little
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
And then India's a big one too, just because
Really?
they're
Yeah.
they're such an emerging audience in getting onto the internet that they're going to be a big audience in
But people
anybody's.
around here have heard of you too, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
know.
I think it goes U.S. and then Canada is our
Yeah.
second, and then India is our third, and then something like Indonesia is fourth, and then
Yeah.
it kind of goes down with all the
Yeah.
countries.
I asked my daughters about you. They're like 14 and 16.
Yeah.
They had heard of you.
Oh.
What
really?
school do they go to?
KLO Middle and KSS.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, because
Interesting.
we like do a lot of video stuff. We did a lot of video stuff at KSS, and we know the video production teacher very well, and so a lot of people know our videos from him because he's shown a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're like a thing.
Yeah, a
I-
lot of
I
people
guess.
around our age in Kelowna know who we are just because of like Instagram or that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And we do videos with a bunch of different people, so different friend groups see different things.
Okay, so you've graduated high school. You're taking, what do you call that year when you're not going to
gap
Gap
A
year.
gap year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing various jobs. What, like working at a drugstore, etc. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I work at Master Glass. If that's
yeah,
Yeah.
London
so we all,
drugs.
like,
Yeah,
apart from filming, we all have part-time jobs that we do, so we
Right.
can kind of keep some of the.
So
personal-
where's this going from here? Like, what's after the gap year? What are you going to do?
we're like figuring that out.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to
like,
decide
we're-
right now. We
yeah.
only have a few minutes left.
we're really trying to get onto doing more corporate kind of videos, like commercials and like promotional work
Right.
for other people. So we've done a few. We've done stuff for the college, and Thompson Okanagan Tourism Association.
Yeah.
We've done a few videos for them.
30-minute hit,
30-minute hit
kickboxing.
downtown. We've done videos for them. So
Yeah, we're looking to up that as we go, and then if that goes higher, then maybe
So
we'll
when
see
you
where
do
it goes.
like a corporate video like that, do you still put your personalities into it and do it the same,
No.
or is it
It's
more?
tough.
It's more so our like techniques of filming it. They
Right.
usually when they want corporate stuff, they want their own personalities or content in the video.
Right.
So we leave that up to them. They kind of come to us with the idea, and then we just put our touch on it with filming and cinematics
So
and that kind of thing.
video and editing and effects and
Yeah.
things.
Well, yeah, for a promotional piece, they're not as interested in having your personality on it. That's where YouTube is great because you can do anything you want, whatever
Exactly.
videos you want.
But
Right.
like on YouTube itself, we are sponsored by 2 different companies, which is Epidemic Sound and Music Bed, and through those, it's just like a classic advertisement you'd see in any YouTube vid. So we have an affiliate link, and if people go there, then we can get some money based off their subscription. So that's
Right.
another kind of corporate aspect, and that way we can really just put our personalities into it.
Fantastic. So we're probably getting near the end of this thing. Anything you guys wanted to bring up about TMS Productions before we wrap this up?
Bring up. I think
How about we'll bring you guys back here in a. Well, you'll be such a big deal a year from now. I probably won't be able to crack your schedule, but we'll see, I guess.
I'll get my assistant on that.
No, that's awesome. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Yeah.
No,
Really
thanks
great
for
to
having
meet you.
us.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.